It's a battle between fields and forestry. Frongoch farm is at the heart of the Cwrt-y-Cadno Valley. When it came up for sale last year, Ian O'Connor and his wife Rhiannon tried to buy it. They wanted to raise their 3 little boys locally, but they were outbid by a London-based company who intends to put trees there instead of livestock. Ian rents the farm next door, but he worries he may never own one.
What sort of impact would it have if you couldn't bring up your young family in this area?
To be honest, that really disheartens me. The thought of that really does dishearten me. I'm a huge believer in Welsh heritage and local communities, and that is essentially what we will lose in 30, 40 years' time. And that, to me, is a very scary point.
Well, Ian and Rhiannon have been tenant farmers here for about 5 years, and the land they wanted to buy is just the other side of that hill. They were going to put about 40 or 50 acres of trees on it themselves, but they also wanted to use it to graze around 500 sheep.
Villagers want a forestry and farming blend too. They've begun a petition to stop mass tree planting going ahead. The chapel they're meeting at was visited by the former US President Jimmy Carter, and they say they want to protect a valley designated as special and historic landscape.
It really represents the best of rural Wales, and the thought that it would be planted over with non-native conifers was absolutely horrendous.
There's no benefit to us. The benefit is to the people who make money from selling the carbon credits.
We understand the need for planting trees, and we understand that carbon capture is important, carbon sequestration, but we think these are the wrong trees in the wrong place and for the wrong reason.
The proposals have lit up a debate about the future of Cwrt-y-Cadno. John Mercer is the director of the National Farmers Union in Wales. He lives here and wonders where this will stop.
We know there's cold calling going on of agents looking for land to buy, so we understand these things are happening. And what we don't want to do is look back in 5, 10, 15 years' time and realise that actually it was a problem and we've lost that productive capacity, or we've lost a number of farms and the impact on rural Wales. So we want to try and keep an eye on it now, and it's really important that Wales just doesn't take its burden of the decarbonisation agenda of the UK.
The River Cothi flows through the Cwrt-y-Cadno Valley. It's one of the few places left where salmon and swin spawn in Wales. But could conifer trees affect that?
It's the cumulative effect of too much forestry. The evidence is irrefutable that the damage done by these through acidification into the water, lowering the pH, killing everything in the river, they're a threat to the rivers.
Foresight Ltd own this land. They say an independent ecologist will carry out a biodiversity evaluation of their plans. Part of their approach to forestry is to listen to the local community. Their scheme for Frongoch has been designed to incorporate a mix of tree species. And the Welsh Government says there is a role in Wales for companies like Foresight.
The threat of climate change hasn't gone away. Just because we're 3 months on from COP in Glasgow, people seem to think that we're out of the woods, and we're not. And in order to follow through those targets of reaching net zero, we have to do things differently. And one of the things we have to do, according to the independent UK Climate Change Commission, is to change about 10% of the land we use in Wales away from sheep farming towards planting mixed woodlands.
Foresight Ltd say they recognise that this is a special valley, and that's one thing that everyone agrees on. Hannah Thomas, ITV News in Cwrt-y-Cadno.